Roseanne devotees, Roseanne fans, Roseanneaholics, Roseanne maniacs, Roseannephiles, Roseanne addicts, and Roseanne zealots. Welcome to Roseanne Retrospectives. I'm Blake.
I'm Pat.
I'm Scott.
This is the podcast where we rummage through the Roseanne subdimension. What is the Roseanne subdimension? Well, in the series finale of the show, the Roseanne subdimension is revealed when we learn that Roseanne has really been writing a book about her life, and what we have been watching is her version of the story. In an effort to distinguish the Roseanne subdimension from the Roseanne reality, we review each episode of the show. This episode, we will be reviewing Season 1, Episode 8, Here's to Good Friends, also known as the episode where Crystal drinks 4 pink squirrels. A brief housekeeping note. We're still experimenting with the form, how long, how short things are going to be, if we're going to be chronological or non-chronological, or exactly what things are going to look like.
Mm-hmm. We're trying some different things out. We don't want to be like every other podcast out there. We're trying to put our own distinct seal on the Roseanne subdimension.
And there's a lot of different shows that we like, so we haven't found the exact balance in all of the influences that we have in making the show.
Exactly.
But if you stick with us, we're going to get it before long.
We're going to get to the good episodes, we promise.
And that'll make things easier.
Once we get past Season 1, it's all downhill from there.
Season 5. I'm looking forward to Season 5.
It's a good one.
Anything past Season 2 is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Here's to Good Friends has a bit of a convoluted plot. It starts after Crystal gets dumped, and Roseanne and Jackie decide to take Crystal to the Lobo Lounge for dating support and advice. Booker turns down a date with Jackie because his mom is in town, only he turns up the Lobo Lounge with another woman. Jackie responds by making things difficult for Booker, and Darlene, back at home, rushes to finish a book report. This is probably, for me, the worst episode so far.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I find it. I like this episode a lot because of Crystal.
Hmm.
Crystal has a lot of funny moments. This is the episode where she really starts to shine.
We get to learn a lot about her character. And it's really, I don't think it's the worst. It's not one of the best, but...
What do you two like about Crystal?
She's stupid, stupid, stupid.
She's complex. She's sad. I like that she's sad.
You like that she's sad?
Yeah.
She's just way too sad all the time. She never lets up.
Her sadness is real, though. It's a real character.
It's
a real
palatable. Like, you can feel it.
And the way she talks is really awesome. Oh, Hank left me.
You ruined my life.
Hank ruined my life.
I knew it. I should have seen it coming.
Crystal, you're so stupid. Stupid, stupid.
She makes me nervous. I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't embrace the sadness. The sadness kind of just, unnerves me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like that it's not always played up for laughs. Like, sometimes she'll say things, and it's not a punchline to a joke. It's just something sad. And the audience doesn't respond because it's sad, and the sign didn't come on telling them to laugh.
This is probably the episode where there have been the lowest amount of laugh tracks.
Yeah, there's not a lot of laughing.
Well, we were laughing.
I also just don't get why she's that upset about getting dumped.
She always gets dumped.
Yeah, that's her character.
Always dumped.
Mm-hmm. She's lovelorn.
She gets overly attached to the shitty dudes.
Mm-hmm.
They use her and leave her.
Right. There's going to be another episode this season where we discuss Crystal's love life in more detail.
Remember the bridge?
Yeah. Don't spoil it.
Sunny.
I love that episode.
That might be my favorite Season 1 episode.
Yeah, any episode of a show where a main character is talking to a bridge pylon
Talking to an inanimate object which holds a dead person. That's generally a good way to
It's
go.
not a coffin.
That is clearly something made up by the unreliable narrator Roseanne.
Oh, wow.
I feel like there's no way that could be in real life.
No. We're going to have to wait to talk about that, where Sonny's body really lies.
Okay, so while we're talking about reality and fiction, did anybody pick up on anything that was the reality versus fiction dichotomy this time?
This one seemed pretty close to the reality. I think that in reality they did talk a sad friend out of a bad situation.
You remember
I think so too.
the part where they're in the Lobo Lounge, Roseanne, Jackie, and Crystal, and Roseanne and Jackie are telling Crystal that she's a doormat. That's why these dudes are always leaving her. So they decide to role play as men to see what Crystal will say. I think that part differed a little from the reality. So in the way Roseanne writes it, Roseanne the narrator writes that episode, or that part of it, Roseanne pretends that she's some big burly dude and she spits and she's like, I'm a big burly dude like you usually date, Crystal. Tell me to go fuck myself. and Crystal doesn't do a good job. She's like, please go away. But then Roseanne makes Jackie role play as a dude. So I think what actually was happening during that scene was Roseanne was trying to set Jackie up with Crystal because she's tired of Crystal being all lonely all the time. She's
I like that.
just date my sister. You know?
I like that too.
'Cause my sister's gay, right? Because this is reality.
That's true.
That's a twist we've never heard.
That's just,
Yeah.
That's just my headcanon there.
Because we know that we know that real Jackie is gay. That's established in the 9th season final episode.
That's canon.
Yes.
So why wouldn't Roseanne try and set up Jackie and Crystal?
That's true. Yes.
Crystal's such a doormat. She probably doesn't have like a cohesive, just well decided upon orientation. She's probably just attracted to whoever will tell her what to do.
And maybe it's something
She's probably attracted to Roseanne, and Roseanne's like, no, I'm already seeing someone. Date my sister.
And they may, they're from a small town. Maybe it's something she never considered.
There's a one-off note to go back a little bit earlier, and I'm not sure if either of you saw it, but it was really funny for me, and maybe the funniest thing in the whole episode.
Yeah?
When they were sitting at Wellman Plastics, there was an old lady that began to take pharmaceutical.
Oh, yeah.
It's
The woman who
Chief.
looks like Chief from
Yes.
Children's Hospital.
Chief began to take pharmaceuticals out of her purse. And, there were a lot of pharmaceuticals in her purse.
She's a drug connoisseur.
I was really impressed by that.
She was before her time.
That was Chief's most Chief-esque moment.
Yeah.
I didn't even know why they were doing that.
And then she
it was
just
a-
walks away, and
Yeah.
Roseanne's like, whoa, double take.
One-off gag, yeah.
It was a really elaborate, well thought out one-off gag.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this episode was cold. That was one thing that persisted throughout the episode. Everyone was cold. It was snowing. Everyone was freezing cold. This was the coldest episode yet.
I feel like they should have taken Chief to the Lobo Lounge.
Yeah.
Just really gotten their rocks off.
Hey Chief, bring your purse full of drugs. Come drinking with us tonight.
I wish I knew that person.
Yeah, it was a cold episode, and Roseanne's coat was remarkably unsuited for the weather.
Oh yeah, she's got like a shawl on, kind of.
It looked like a dead animal.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it fastened or anything.
Dead gray animal of some sort.
A gray wolf.
Yeah, it didn't have buttons or like a zipper. It maybe had a button in it.
And it was fluffy looking, but it also appeared very thin at the same time.
It looked itchy.
Yeah.
Like it would really be uncomfortable.
And not warm.
Yeah. But everyone's freezing. Everyone's rubbing their hands and breathing. Well, no, they're not actually breathing steam, but
Right.
It should be.
Right. They didn't film this one in a freezer to give the illusion of cold.
This is before they could just insert that stuff in post-production.
If they re-released Roseanne, they would add steam coming out of everyone's mouth. The special edition. One thing I think is very clearly edited from reality in this episode is the depiction of football. I'm really bothered by that the whole episode. Like Dan is watching the kids and they're sitting around watching a football game, and it's clear that the Bears are destroying a team. But everyone is really excited about it. And then later it cuts to the Lobo Lounge and everyone's really into the game and cheering, but the Bears are still blowing somebody out. And there's nothing exciting about a blowout in football.
No, there never is.
It just seems like somebody was like, the big game's on, and everyone's watching the big game and into the big game. But
Yeah,
Well,
they can't
blowouts can be
themselves
exciting
away.
sometimes.
I even like a Super Bowl that's a blowout. That's
If
like
it's in the
most
middle of like a
discipline-
series and the other team has lost a whole bunch of games,
Mhm.
it can be exciting.
Guess.
Or if it's
Yeah.
like leading up to like a Super Bowl or like a big game, it can be exciting.
What you just said about a series, that's true. If it's a blowout and your team's down in the series,
Yeah.
but not in football. Like that boxing match that just happened, Mayweather and Picano or whatever.
Right.
That was a blowout and nobody was happy about
No,
it.
nobody liked
Like,
that.
blowouts in sports are not things that people jump
Well,
up and
blowouts
down.
in boxing are a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I like to pretend Roseanne was in her basement writing this chapter of the book, and she's like,
There's a blizzard.
"It's a big game. It's a big game, right?"
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "I gotta write this part about the big game." What's some terms that people use when they're describing games? Blowout.
Touchdown.
That's right, blowout.
Touchdown, yep.
Blowout and touchdown. I'm gonna make them say touchdown and that it's a blowout.
And I also heard the word fullback in the background.
Oh
Yeah, I
Threw
heard
yeah,
that
you
in
just
there.
threw it in.
Which
yeah.
also reminds me of something that was very unrealistic, or which was not part of the reality that must have gotten edited. The Lobo Lounge is the quietest bar I've ever seen in the world.
And everybody in the background is very brooding and quiet.
and pacing.
Yes.
The guy in the yellow jacket who paces back and forth about 20 times with
And
his
they
beer.
and they tend to not engage in conversation with other people that are there.
No, they approach conversation and it looks like they're about to speak, but then they look down and they make
It just never
Yeah.
happens.
Oh, that's so weird. It's so creepy.
One of the extras looked like Sylvester
he
Stallone.
did. Like a little slimmer. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a nice butt shot of
Maybe
him,
like
too.
Stallone's brother.
Yeah.
He was wearing these
Oh.
wicked dad jeans, and they're like, "Look at his assets." What did they say? He has some characters.
Yeah, it was his character. His butt character.
And it was like a dad jean,
Mhm.
a dad jean ass.
What is a pink squirrel?
Oh, that's a great question. The pink squirrel. We know that Crystal orders it at the bar, and she ends up drinking like 4 of them. But yeah, it's like a tiny little mixed drink that's probably fruity. There's like a bunch of fruit sticking out of it.
Yeah, so
You
it's
think-
probably fruity.
Do you think that they made it up, or we didn't actually research
Oh,
that?
Google. I'm googling it.
Google.
I feel like they made it up.
They might have, but I'm sure there is a drink called that. There's a drink called like everything.
Okay,
So-
I think it's real.
We need a chronology.
It's vodka with red food coloring and blended
It's
ice.
vodka with blended squirrel.
It uses creme de noyaux, noya, Noyaux. It's like French, I guess.
What is that?
I don't know.
Mean.
Creme de noyaux, creme de cacao, and heavy cream. 1 ounce of each. Shake with ice, strain into
Oh,
a
this is a
cocktail
legitimate
glass,
thing.
and serve.
Oh, it sounds
Hello?
disgusting.
Whoa,
is that
it's
like
from
a
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh,
Midwest.
that
It's
makes
legitimate.
sense. Oh, wow.
That's authentic.
Creme de noyaux is an almond-flavored creme liqueur made from apricot kernels,
Ooh.
which also flavor amaretto.
Why on earth would the Lobo Lounge have any of these ingredients? The Lobo Lounge looks like a place where you get like Bud Light and beer, which is what they're drinking in this episode.
does.
Because it's a Midwestern bar.
I guess if it's like a traditional Midwestern drink.
I don't think it is.
yeah,
I think they got a traditional Midwestern drink, but they didn't get the right bar in which you could have it.
Well, now we've got to order one next time we go out and see if anybody knows what it is.
Or if anybody has it.
They dust off the drink directions.
Blow the
list,
cobwebs
yeah.
off of it. Pull some bottle out of the deep recesses of the corner.
It looks pretty good. Well, no, it actually looked like Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like, and they're small too.
Oh, God, and it's got heavy cream in it. Oh,
Yeah, it's like
Ah.
it's like 3 ounces, right? That's what It looks like it's about
That
3
wouldn't even
ounces.
get you drunk. That would just make you discombobulated.
Yeah, it's 2 liqueurs and heavy cream.
Oh.
Nasty. What is that? Like a perverted White Russian?
Ish. Well, White Russian at least has vodka in it.
How the hell did Crystal get drunk off these drinks then?
She had 4 of them.
She was still
Okay.
okay after 4 drinks, too.
Yeah, I don't think she was very drunk. They kind of
She hammed it up briefly.
Mm-hmm. She was getting her beer muscles her emotional beer muscles, where she was getting over her sadness. I actually think that part has been changed for for Roseanne's novel versus the reality. Because in dealing with people who are really depressed, usually the more they drink, the more they spiral.
Right.
And like Crystal actually breaks out of her sadness fairly quickly.
She does.
Like, I've been at the bar with sad people, and
It doesn't end well.
ever.
No,
No.
it's never a good thing. I try to not go to a bar. I try to not drink if I'm sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if that means, like, not drinking for, like, a month or 2 on end.
Not to laugh at your sadness.
No. My sadness is pretty laughable. The other thing that we haven't talked about yet is this sort of game that Jackie runs on Booker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God!
It's a good-
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's
Oh my
twisted.
God.
It is
It's
truly
sick. It's just sick.
So this is the point where I stopped feeling sorry for Jackie. Because before I just thought Jackie is like constantly being sexually harassed by her boss. Her life must just be really awful. Nobody's really understanding. But then after this episode, I was like, Jackie, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't even
Seriously.
understand what she wants.
Yeah, it's really unclear. She really like oscillates back and forth between wanting Booker and like wanting to jerk Booker around.
She almost just wants to ruin him. Like, that's all
Yeah.
that she wants to do.
That's pretty cool. That's fine, but she's got to own it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she can't keep like running back to him and like asking him to buy her a beer after he takes another woman out on a date. And,
Oh, yeah, we should describe. So what did she do exactly? What did she do to Booker?
She said Booker is out with another woman.
Yeah, they're
And-
at the Lobo Lounge, and he walks in with a lady, and he had lied. He lied to Jackie and said that he was going to be busy that night with his mom.
Clooney.
And Jackie even gave him tickets to the auto show so he could take his mom to the auto show. It turned out it was so he could take another woman to the auto show.
So
Yeah.
Except I don't think they ended up
So
going.
Booker is
Good
sitting at a
audition.
table with this other woman, and Jackie comes over.
Oh, yeah, Jackie borrows Roseanne's wedding ring.
And Jackie says to Booker, "Are you coming home soon?" The children are starting to ask questions.
She plays the distraught ex-wife.
Like
And-
she's about to cry.
And then she says, "Don't do this to us, Booker."
And so Booker and the lady, they were making arrangements to go sleep together somewhere, one of their apartments.
Mhm.
And Jackie comes over and pretends to be Booker's wife, distraught wife, and the lady's like gets fucking mad and she leaves. She's like, "What the hell, Booker? You're married? Oh, I can't believe this."
Yeah, she buys this really quickly. She changes her mind like at the drop of a hat.
I thought Jackie was convincing. I
I
don't know.
guess I would still ask a lot more questions about this.
Yeah.
You'd ask her a lot more prying questions.
But then instead of like being really mad at Jackie and like leaving or firing her or whatever her boss would
You're
do,
fired. You
he's
ruined my
like,
date at the bar.
All right, well, let's continue the date. Jackie, you take the place of the other lady. And she does. And
You're
so
my
then they
date.
have a date. But then at the end of the date, instead of making arrangements to sleep together, Jackie's like, "Haha, sucker."
She is.
I was never gonna sleep with you.
I fooled
Bye.
you.
Mm-hmm. They're all.
So he just came over. She came over, ruined Booker's date, and I just feel like Booker got really screwed.
Mm-hmm. Their whole relationship is
time.
kind of defined by they're almost sleeping together, but one of them backing out.
Do you think this is revenge for him unrelentingly sexually harassing her at work?
Maybe.
Using
well,
a bowling game
in
to
the-
try and like coerce her into unconsensual sex.
See, in the reality though, that makes sense because like she's not interested
Right.
as a lesbian. Like she would be. That would
Oh,
be.
yeah.
So maybe that's what's
Oh.
happening. Like she is just straight up like cock blocking him because he's constantly sexually harassing her and he's a womanizer.
That's a cool way to read that. So she's not like some kind of conflicted, nutso, unreal
Right.
character.
Right.
Well, she is in Roseanne's novel.
Right. Maybe Roseanne probably wrote the novel with Jackie Gay and then like went back and like rewrote everything and then some of it didn't work.
Yeah.
It makes Jackie come across as kind of nutso in some episodes. Conflicted, yes.
Well,
Is there anything else that either of you guys wanted to mention?
I don't know. Darlene's writing a report about Betsy Ross. The kids are all hoping school gets snowed out because it's snowy. They mentioned that
That all seems really forgettable to me.
Yeah.
So I guess this is a part of the episode where we talk about what our favorite part of the episode is.
Yes.
My favorite part is Chief's bag of pharmaceutical supplies.
my favorite part is when Crystal calls herself stupid over and over again. No. Actually, my favorite part is when Crystal is like really drunk and she says to Jackie, she repeats to Jackie the exact same positive things that Roseanne was telling Crystal right before. Like, Jackie, you're a beautiful human being. You don't deserve to be jerked around. Yeah, I liked that part.
My favorite part was the surreal atmosphere created by the Lobo Lounge.
Yeah.
Like there's some very quiet, like twangy country in the background. It's kind of like Twin Peaks is the feeling it gives me.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like nobody's talking, but everyone's mouthing to one
Everyone's
another.
listening.
Everyone's like talking really quiet. I love that. I want to go to those kinds of bars. The bar where you feel uncomfortable because of how clearly everyone can hear what you're saying.
It's like you're the main character on the set.
The bar where
of a
you're the
sitcom.
main character.
All about you. So that's it for this episode. You can follow us on Facebook or Twitter. And thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.